está funcionando y tal?
Sí, por favor.
Yes, we are online now. So this is the third appointment for the upgrade about Civic Factory Fest, and we are waiting for the news, and then we will have this meeting. I propose that since now Thursday evening. We are having a general hangout about Civic Factory Fest, but what mostly care about the fest for CivicWise is the Glocal camp. So maybe if you all agree, we can have like a first part of upgrade from the team of Valencia that will upgrade us, like 15 minutes. We can have some question and stuff, and then we get inside the issue of organizing local camp. This could be a way to work from now since the first, or since we change idea. So if it's okay for you, we can start
Yes.
with an upgrade from Jonathan and Irene.
Should we do that in English or it's okay if we do that in Spanish?
Hey, you lazy.
Eh?
You are lazy.
Spanish, Spanish.
No, I can
No estaba preparado.
try to do that in English, but my English is not
No,
very
I don't remember the last time what we did. We did it in what, Spanish
In
or
English.
we did it in English because it's for all the community would be better.
okay. I'll try it. Well, we have been organizing during the last weeks the event of Civic Factory Fest. I couldn't be the first time, but I think you already explained something about that. Then I don't think I need now to start explaining what Civic Factory Fest is. But basically, the fest is going to the organization is already started, but is going to take the next 3 months. The fest is going to be in November, basically, but we have split the organization of the fest in three different stages, three different parts. One part of organization that lasts basically October, no? And then in November, from the 2nd of November, the fest starts. Not as a public thing, but just as a more closed thing, open to the CivicWise community, basically, and some local groups and people and projects from Valencia. And then, as I said, in the 2nd of November, the second phase starts. This phase is the prototyping phase. During this phase, we are going to work on the different topics that we have set. I will explain these topics very quickly in a second. And then the last part of this event starts basically the
The
4th
19th,
of November.
no?
What?
The 19th of November.
Yeah, the 19th of November. This week, the 4th week of November, is the Civic Factory Fest, no? Properly called. This is the moment in which we open the prototype of the Civic Factory, and then this is open to the public, and everybody can come, can join to the conversations, can understand all the work we have been doing during the previous phases. Yeah, this is basically, and then after this last phase of the fest, we will open the expo space, and then we will have this expo space. This is, I don't know if it's going to last during December or maybe even more, but basically the Civic Factory Fest ends with an expo to tell everybody what happened there during the previous months. And well, as you know, I think you already know it. The Civic Factory prototype, the space itself, and the fest itself is going to be organized in different spaces. We have the school, a place to learn about urban innovation, civic innovation, etc. The Agora is a place to debate, to promote the debate among the different actors in the city, the public sector, private sector, the universities, professionals, etc. Another space is the lab space. It can be called a production space. We will be working on different topics and on different projects. It's a very, how to say it, pragmatical. It's a place from where to work to produce, not just to learn or to debate, but also to produce. And then another space is the gallery space. It's a place to tell everybody what's going on there. We will be running this expo there from the beginning as an open thing. And then we will have the kitchen space, the food lab, and the leisure place, more connected to the square and to the public space. Okay, then these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 spaces. On these 6 spaces, we are going to be working on six different areas of work. I mean, in all the different spaces, we will be working always as a transversal thing in six different topics. These topics are, well, economy as a big topic, data and commons as another topic, ecologic transition, social development, smart living and working, and culture. Inside of these 6 topics, we will be having different courses, workshops, debates, lectures, many things, and also projects inside of these different areas or topics. It means that, for example, during the Glocal camp, as you remember, we were working on different topics of CivicWise, as for example, civic tech, civic governance, all these things. We have to try to fit these things inside of these 6 big areas. Why are we doing this thing? Because we are not going to be just CivicWise community during the Civic Factory Fest. We will have many projects and people also from Valencia and from Spain. And we wanted to be even more general, to be able to fit more projects and more people inside of this general thing. Yeah. To be a bit more inclusive, no? Because if we are just talking about CivicWise, etc., we can be in the first step, we can look a bit not so inclusive, no? Then that's why we organize it in more general topics. And then basically this is I don't know if Franchi, you were thinking to explain more things, but basically is this thing of the 3 big phases of organization, prototyping, and the fest, the 6 big spaces and the 6 big topics. And inside of this structure, we will be fitting many actors, local actors, global actors, but always working on these 6 main topics. Franchi, no sé si
I think this is it. I mean, I want to ask you something, guys. Can you share the calendar
Sí.
in the chat of Hangout so everybody can take a look at the 3 pages?
I can also share the screen. ¿Dónde está?
Because I can share the calendar because it's in Drive. If everybody go.
Irene already did it, but you can find it in the chat. But
Okay.
maybe to share also my screen to show you exactly how when these phases start and when the global camp is and everything.
Okay, but in which chat did you share it, Irene?
¿Dónde las compartí en qué chat? Yeah, in this chat, in this Hangouts chat.
I don't see it.
No, the chat in Gmail.
Gmail.
Ah, Gmail chat, not the Hangout chat. Okay. Shit.
No sé, ¿no, Irene?
Okay. Anyway, it's in the folder of in the general folder of the Civic Factory Fest.
Ah,
There
vale.
is a folder for the calendar, and there you can find many a folder that is called the calendar and activities. And there are. I suggest you to take a look at this folder. Okay, I'm sharing it in the chat of Hangout.
Franche, estoy compartiendo pantalla. No sé si
Perfect.
se ve.
Perfect.
Vale.
Yeah, good thing is that if you see, this is September, and so it's still about well, it's about legal issues and cleaning the space. And then if you take a look in October, can you pass, Jonathan? There is the third and the fourth weeks of October are the preparation of the space, where there's gonna be an hacking of the space where local actors will build. There will be a big workshop with the university and stuff, and there will be a workshop to build the main structures of the agora mainly. So a little parliament with the materials we saw there are in the depository of the La Marina. So we have a lot of material at disposal, a lot of wood inside the building itself. So they're gonna use that one to build the main structure that we will use for the agora, for the school and stuff. And then if you go to November, you can see that actually from 2 to 18th of November, it's the incubation phase that Jonathan was talking, where they're gonna be school, agora, workshop and stuff. And this is an incubation phase where CivicWise will be inside, and also local actors to prototype the Civic factory. Then there is going to be the Glocal camp from 12 to 18th inside this incubation phase, and then we will enter exactly mainly in the calendar of the Glocal camp, and then the fest will be the last week. What I want to ask you, Jonathan, is for the thematic area you were talking about, did you prepare a list or a description of the thematic area already, or not?
The topics are just introduced in Google Drive, but
Okay,
we should
perfect.
develop them a bit more. But
No,
they,
okay. Yeah, well, I just want to mention one thing that now you are here, so you can correct me. This thematic area are more general than the work line we have in CivicWise and the
yeah,
project we have in CivicWise, because we wanted to join the theme, the topics we have with the topics that are developing the local actors in Valencia.
yeah,
So from starting from the collective and associations to the the administration, the l'ayuntamiento, the municipality, they are working many topics, and we try to make a big category to organize 6 categories where everybody can put inside and work together. And this is very useful to understand, because later when we get in the organization of local camp will be a key point to understand the organization of local camp. Is it clear to everybody?
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, I'm looking also now here, áreas de trabajo. Maybe I should change the name to English, but
No, I'll leave it in Spanish. I mean, it's not important.
okay. The thing is that, as you just said, the thing is that we organize these these main topics to be more inclusive, to be able to fit inside of this structure, not just CivicWise, but also the local projects and people here in Valencia. And I just started introducing the topics and the main lines of work in drive, but we will be developing them a bit more with you, with all of you,
Yeah,
if
maybe we
you want.
can. We already
For now,
actually with Jonathan, Irene, Domenico, and stuff. Uh, we and Laura, we already thought which project of CivicWise is related with a single area. So maybe if you guys update this one too, because I mean, we don't have to understand from CivicWise in which area we have to put our project. It's something that partially it's already done. Okay, we can discuss uh, if it's proper or not, but almost it's everything all done. So we don't have to worry about this, like CivicWise community. I mean. So, uh, if it's everything clear, we can start talking about the Glocal camp.
No, I have a question.
Yeah. So good.
Okay. I don't understand very well. When you talk about space, it will be something inside the building, or it takes some part. For example, you talk about Agora. I think it's outside, but the rest are part of the building or are in the outside public space and something like this.
No, well, we have the physical spaces that are the hangars, the plaza outside, and the
Okay.
exposition gallery. Because we can show the plans now because we haven't
Yeah. Yes.
totally signed the contract with Marina, so we can't show the plans. But actually, you can take a look in Drive and you can understand it.
Okay.
Actually, the fact is that there are physical spaces, okay, but then there are the spaces we explained in the last time. So Agora, Taller, Escuela, Recreo, Cocina, that they move through the physical spaces. I mean, Agora is inside the hangar, but also we go outside when we have a public debate. Where in the day of the market, for example, in the plaza, we will have a public debate. So this we will take Agora outside. It's like it's not a physical space, but it's a thematic space.
Okay.
Okay, so it will be very flexible, and it's kind of interesting because it's more conceptual. But actually, we have. If you take a look at the file in the always in the folder of general, the structure of Civic Factory Fest, there is a file called Calendar Spaces and Activities, and there you have a list of the main activities that will take place and the dates, and you can understand how it works. I mean, for example, we divided it in like the activities outside, the activity inside, I mean in the hangar, and the activity of the exposition, because the exposition will be a part that will be activated since October, because we will move the office that we are now have inside La Marina. It will be moved inside the building to start working there since the beginning, and to start working on the communication and to signalize also the presence inside that.
Yeah.
If you take a look at this list, you can understand. For example, there will be a weekend for painting the facade of the building. It will be outside, of course, and then we have the markets, the food trucks, the concerts. So these are the main activities, mostly on the weekends, that are already planned, and you can understand better a little bit which is the event, what are the events, and in which place they take, which is the place they will be inside. So, but actually, to answer to your question, the fact is that Agora is not a physical space. It will be
It's more a
characterized.
concept.
Yeah, it will be an area, a specific area of the hangars, but it will be also outside sometimes, and there will be actually. Also, maybe Jonathan can explain you better what was the thinking about Agora. Would be a very flexible space where a lot of things will happen together.
Mm-hmm.
So school will happen inside in the same place. So if you want to say something, Jonathan.
No, it's just what you explained. I talked about the spaces, and in fact, these functions, this school agora, workshop, gallery, kitchen, and leisure space, they are not
Real spaces.
they are not spaces, but they are linked to spaces. It's a bit complex. I mean, for example, to explain it, there will be, in fact, an agora space that will be like, I can show you some references, but it will be a place to have debate, to have lectures and everything. But we prefer to talk about functions because this agora thing, these debates, things can happen also outside of the building, more connected to the public space when the Civic Factory Fest is open to everybody, and then it would be nice to connect it also to the street, to the public space. But basically, it's true that there are spaces linked or connected to functions. But of course, these functions can be moved around the building. Yeah, this is a good picture. This is a very good reference. What he's sharing. This is the Delft in Holland, the
Mm.
Delft Faculty of Architecture. This is a very good reference for us. This is a place where everything happens, and this is for us a good reference for the Agora. We can have there lectures, debates,
Mm.
everything, but in a space like this one, I don't know if some of you can have been there, but there sometimes if there is a lecture, you cannot have there a conversation, or you cannot maybe do another thing at the same time. Then you have to move the functions. We have spaces connected to functions, but they are going to be quite flexible. The main thing is that the whole building has to be very alive and be able to uh, give all the different activities we are organizing. But we have some drawings, but we will share them with you maybe in the future, no, Francesco? We can share with them quite soon, where all these functions will be happening during the test.
Yeah, we. I don't know if you can show the plans of the building actually.
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
No. So, but they are on Drive.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean,
Okay.
this is
Oh,
not
it's cool.
public yet, but
That's
we will
You can
share.
make it public yet.
Ya, pero no, no, esto es público, lo estamos diciendo en directo.
I can share you the main calendar. In the main calendar, you can find more details. It's always in the same folder, the general structure folder. There is the calendar, a PDF. If you take a look at that, there are more details about the festival and the needs and everything. So try
Okay.
to take a look at that and you can have more a clear idea. So if you are okay, we can start talking more detailed
okay.
about Glocal Camp. I didn't prepare actually a draft of the calendar. I will do it and I will charge it in the next days because we will do coordinated with the whole calendar. But mainly, we can say that during the week. Okay. Okay. Now I share the calendar. Uh, Wait a moment.
No.
Uh,
Here's the cover.
okay. So here goes the screen. Okay, this is the file I'm talking about. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you see, we have. Oh, sorry. Oops.
Ah, turns him up.
Sorry. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, the local camp is from the 12th of November to the 20th. Okay. So, the 12th and the 13th will be 2 days of welcoming of the local camp, and we are going to have actually there will be special days. There's gonna be a tour in the morning. We're gonna have a tour every Saturday of November, a tour for around Valencia, so anyone can join it. It's a public event that we will foster. And then the most interesting thing would be the 13th, the Sunday, where we will have the day of placemaking. There's going to be a workshop during the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th of November of placemaking to build the plaza close to the building. Okay, so in the weekend of the 5th and the 6th, the facade will be painted from local artists, urban artists, and then on the 11th and the 12th will be there will be the more design part of the workshop of placemaking. So people will be forced to join a workshop of designing the displays, and then the 13th we will be all together. So all the community we will be actually immediately involved in an action, a local action. That seems to me very interesting, and it's a good chance for us also to have an impact directly on the territory. Then we will have the whole week from Monday to Friday 18th, okay, from Monday 14th to Friday 18th, where we mostly have this structure. Okay, we will have the morning to work on our work lines, okay, our projects. Then this work will be organized in the thematic area that Jonathan was explaining before. We will organize ourselves by thematic area, not by work line, and we will start building the table of work, and that's the work we have to do now to the fest. I mean, as you saw the list of Jonathan before, there is data in commons, the ecological transition, and the social development and other thematic area that will include not only the projects and the work line of CivicWise, but also the local actors' work line and projects. So we will organize them for thematic, intersection. I mean, in the data and commons, for example, there can be a table work for governance of CivicWise, a table for Civitech Lab, and also a table from a local actor working together. I mean, separately but physically in the same area, so we can meet. We have the whole morning, so everybody will be organizing themselves as he wants with the breaks, with the join other tables and stuff. But we thought it's going to be a flexible way just to have more mixité, more exchange within our lines, and also with our lines, from our lines to the local actors' lines. And this will be in the morning. We have 3 hours to dedicate to this, and we have to understand how to from now to the fest, how to organize these tables and this workshop we want to do. So, for example, Rural Lab wants to make a workshop to structurize his lab, to structurize the Rural Lab, and we have 5 days of work, and all the 6 thematic area will be active. Rural Lab is in the transition, ecological transition area, okay, and we can build up a table to work on exactly on Rural Lab. But then when we are there, we meet local actors and we start relating with them, and we maybe join the table for the next days. Okay, so this is kind of the way we were thinking about. And okay, and then I explained the whole day, and then we can start with the question and we start working on that. So this is for the morning, okay, like we did in Paris, but in Paris we worked like this the whole day. We thought now to give more space to the single workshop, so we have 3 hours to organize the workshop. There can be a double session or a single session of 3 hours or a double session of 1 hour and a half. I don't know. We will organize ourselves in these days. And then we have we have the lunch. But before the lunch, we have a nice format that we are thinking that is Civic Media Lab. That is 1 hour from 1 to 2 o'clock of streaming. We will have it every day during the whole month of November, and there will be a time to present the fest, to present the projects of the fest, to present the people who is coming to the fest and their work. So it will be a way to have a communication with the global network. It will be in streaming. It will be in streaming. And it will be every day. So this is a format we want to experiment, and we will see. Mainly just to present ourselves and our works to the people who is there to work and to the people who is connected. One thing to say is that why we do this, the whole Civic Factory will be working. So the weeks before the camp, during the morning, in the same time, there's going to be the school and the co-working where everybody can meet up and work on a theme they want. So the same thing will pass during the Glocal camp. We don't have the school actually, because we will occupy the space of the school at CivicWise, but there will be the opportunity for local actors that in the days before were working on their work and their projects to use the space. So that's why it's interesting to join by thematic area, because they will have the opportunity to come and work on their theme. I mean, close to Rural Lab, there's going to be maybe a collective working on that has a collective garden, and they will work on their issue. So this is and this format of the Civic Media Lab aims to join and aims to exchange information and know better each other, locals and the globals. Then in the afternoon, we have different activities for every day. They will be, we have actually only 2 days of work for the afternoon. And we were thinking about having an afternoon, for example, the Monday, the 14th, we will have a visit to a local project of a neighborhood close to La Marina, to understand this project, and to get in contact with the local community, caring about this project, caring about the neighborhood. And then the Tuesday, the following day, in the afternoon, we will have a workshop session joining them, the people we visited the day before. We will have a working session together to work on their issue, to work on their project. So we call it Civic Talk, and it has a specific format that maybe not now we discuss, but we will talk about later, and we will work it together about in another session. But the most important thing is that one day we go to visit a place, to visit a project, and this following day we work on this project with the people of that project. So this week's gonna happen. The Monday we have the visit, the Tuesday we work together. Wednesday 16, the afternoon is totally free. We haven't planned anything to join to enjoy the city, to have a visit, to go around and stuff. And then Thursday there's gonna be another visit, and Friday we're gonna work on the project we saw on Thursday. So we thought, coming from the experience of local camp in Paris, to slow down a little in the afternoon and concentrate to work in the morning, and then have some free time in the afternoon. So the visit is going to be very relaxing because we can go there, have picnic, have dinner, and the project we see, and we have to organize this. But we thought it's going to be a little easier. Of course, this is a draft, and we have to work together. But this is what we thought up to now. And then the 19th and the 20th, it is the inauguration of the festival. And the most important thing is that Saturday 19th there's going to be another tour for the city if somebody wants to join the tour. And then in the afternoon we will have a couple of hours of presentation of the works of the week of Glocal Camp. So we will present the CivicWise work lines and CivicWise projects, and the projects we worked on with the neighborhoods in the afternoons of the week. So mainly this is the week, and I wouldn't add much more things. I'm going to prepare a document more specific for every day on which we can work in the next week and the next meetings. So let's go with the question and let's start to working on this. What do you think? It is I don't know, people who was in the previous camp what can think, and I don't know, it's a little bit different from Paris, but I think it's more effective on the local territories. Everybody in silence. I think I shocked you guys.
No, I think there were a lot of information. For me, for example, I need time to digest.
That's why maybe today we just update, and from today I think okay, Jonathan and Irene are leaving. Okay, bye bye guys. Thank you very much.
Bye bye. See you
Bye.
next time. Bye.
Ten cuidado que quería hacer un lugar.
No, I think that maybe from now we can start really work on local camp, because we did an effort last week to structurize the calendar. Of course, we structurized generally the work calendar. I talked to you only for the days of local camp, and in the next days we with Jonathan and Irene we are planning to work to build a paper with the calendar more clear for everybody. But the point is this one: we work on our projects in the morning, and in the afternoon we go and work more on the local. And we had to make a choice because local projects are many, and we decided to work because also it's a part of the pact with La Marina to work in the neighborhood of La Marina, mostly as an international community.
Okay. Francesco, when you say the 19th is the presentation of the work of Global Camp,
yes.
In presentations to CFF or?
No, it will be inside. Yeah, it will be public because the CFF opens that day. Of course, it's not the main weekend of the fest will be the last weekend of November. Okay, that's the weekend from Thursday to Sunday where we will fill it of lecture, debate, public debates and stuff. This weekend it's a vernissage where we will have the community that work in the incubation phase. The Glocal camp is part of the incubation phase. Okay, the 3 weeks of the first 3 weeks of November. All the people will actually celebrate the opening. Mostly, it will be open. It will be publicized and will be very communicated and in the channels or socials and through the city and stuff. But the presentation will be inside the building, and we will do it for the community that has been built around the fest during the incubation phase mostly. I think because as I see from the 2nd of November, you have to think that there is gonna be the school in the morning with students and people who proposed Tayer like you and Monica, you proposed something for the school. So it will be mostly in the morning where we will develop the school, and then in the afternoon we will have the part of Agora and Taller, okay, where they will join. We will have maybe a small debate and a work table around a specific issue. It will be in the afternoon where the students from the morning can join, but also if they want, they don't join it because they are some kind of independent, but always connected because the thematic area that Jonathan explained will connect everything.
Okay, understood.
They are transversal. So a student that comes in the morning sees that there are of the same thematic area to work table in the afternoon or the next day, so he can come back and join and stuff like this. So this is in the days before the camp it will work like this. Morning school, we will have around the lunch always the Civic Media Lab, so where people can express themselves and spread their project through the network. And then in the afternoon, work session and work tables for the people involved in the incubation phase of the Civic Factory. People involved in incubation phase will be everyone. It's only a legal, as we explained the last time. It's only that we can't make it public for a whole month because it's a problem with the access and stuff. But anyone can join. There will be a registration. There will be a filter of the welcoming. But anyone interested can join. And then in the last week, the door will be open. That's the main difference,
Okay, understood. I think. All right.
We think about it.
Checking.
So, guys, I hope to be able to share with you all the things I told you before during the weekend. I think I can do it.
All right, thank you.
We start working on the calendar, and also the most important thing we have to build the workshop of the morning during the Glocal camp. We're gonna have the 6 thematic area working, but we can have 10 tables working. Depends on us and how much people want to join. So that's what we have to plan, because the 6 thematic area will be open, so they will be physically also divided and signalized, because we will have in the first week of November we will have a tape art collective of Valencia that will work on the floors and on the inside of the hangars with tapes and work. They are very, very interesting, and they will help us to organize the agora, the school, the cocina, and the chill out space. So it will be very interesting. So we will have this area working, and it's up to us to build a work table for a project, for a line, and also to be sure that there's gonna be someone, So we have to work as a community of CivicWise to understand how many people is interested in a workshop about Rural Lab or about Civic Tech Lab, and how many days should we have a table about this? Should we have 1, 2 days? So it's a work of every project of CivicWise to organize themselves and to understand who is joining and to plan it. And I think the good thing of this having this transversal thematic area is that, for example, in Paris, we at the half of the week we realized that maybe there were some tables and some workshops that should join. For example, governance and economy workshop, they got to a point that they need to join and to be discussed together. And this will be very easy because we have the thematic area, so that we'll already join them. So they can be separated or joined, it depends on how goes the work. And then, of course, in these weeks, we will work on the formats of the workshop that we have an idea from local camp in Paris, but we have to understand if it's still good, if it's because we have to produce documentation about the workshop, because we need to present them and we need to them the results of each workshop to stay in the gallery during the fest and also after the fest, because the gallery, it's a space that we are trying to keep it open until the 10th of December. And there will be all the results of the fest. So we in Paris we did that every workshop has to be documented, and then all the documentation has to be uploaded on Drive, and then with the protocol. And this time we will build up a protocol for the gallery. So while we do the workshop, we already make the presentation, So that's the line we have to. But I don't want to start too many topics, because I think we gave a lot of information and we can just go in overdose.
That's true.
No, that's amazing, because we worked a lot, and the project is coming very, 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 very strong and very powerful. Really, also the people from La Marina are very enjoying this. And
One question: you have a lot of exchange with the locals actors.
well,
In the organization, I mean.
the organization is not only CivicWise. CivicWise is fostering the idea, is prototyping the idea, but there are a weekly meeting there is a weekly meeting every Thursday, every Wednesday, with the local group of organizers. Okay. CivicWise is the core of a large group that they are involving in the fest. Of course, CivicWise is thinking about the formats, the structure to go forward with the work. Okay, because it's the one CivicWise is interested in building the Civic factory. Okay. And we have a lot of since I've been there 3 weeks, and in 3 meetings I saw 3 different people or more people every week joining. A new one last week, the new people the week before. So there is a lot of people that is getting closer to the project. The problem is that up to now, most of them were in vacation. A lot of them were in vacation, so we had meetings with different people every time. But from September, it's going to be more clever, and the work group will take part on the format and on the organization.
Okay.
So there is a lot of people that I met. For example, in the first meeting I was, that now they were in vacation. That is people that worked with Irene and Jonathan before, and it's like three or four collectives like Carpe Via, the Jonathan and Irene's one, but they are like them, and they are in the project. They didn't work in this phase because they were in vacation, and of course, CivicWise is getting further with the structure and organization. But the group is going to be very large, and fortunately, we are having a lot of non-architects. There are economists, geography, people working in startups, and it's very interesting anthropology. So it's very interesting the group that is building, and of course, CivicWise is taking care of the main structure and the main organization because it's a little. Not guiding the work group, but organizing.
Yeah. Okay. But
Big work.
yes, it was. We can notice that you are working like.
Huge work, yeah, really. Bravo.
No, it's very exciting, but because the work community is really involved, and we can saw it from Valencia. We were very excited working on this project because we saw a lot of participation in Discord, in Slack, a lot of people that is now animating on this project, and this is the strength for the local team to go further. This is very important. So the last day we were commenting, we was always talking about this, that all the people who was writing on Discord with proposals, with the ideas, and that was very motivating for us to work and but because we are building all together this thing. It's not that it's some people there working more on the local issues that they are farther than the others. We are building it together. So I think CivicWise community is really working now, and this is a big this chance to show the potential of this community.
Okay.
So if we can, okay. So if it's everything, everybody just left us, so we can give the appointment for the next week. There is nothing less to discuss.
I have to go, guys. Bye.
So,
Sorry to
Bye-bye.
interrupt you. Ciao. Thanks so much.
Ciao. See you. And okay, so we can stop the broadcast and just give the appointment to next week.
Okay.
D'accord. Ciao, grazie.